Well, great morning, everyone. Let's go ahead and do an open read and see what we have. So underneath of it all, pushing the reading, the first thing out is the White House. Second card art, the energy coming into it is the pedophilia. It's not going away. No matter how many times I do readings, this is what the topic still is. What's going on today? We have the Truth War Swords coming out. The challenge is the strength of what's coming out. Potential outcome, a message about an action. Outside influence is, it doesn't like what's coming out. And the overarching thing is affecting the world. Affecting the world and a big burden, okay? So big burden affecting his whole world because things continue to come out. So let's see what we have at the White House here. We have, again, trying to hold on to the mental aspect of it, controlling the mental realm of the hidden secrets. So let's see what the secrets about his abuse. His abuse. Trying to control about his abuse. His using power to manipulate these young girls, etc. Is that a surprise? I don't think so. So when it comes to the pedophilia, the past, there's an agreement, especially among the girls, the women, an agreement. They want to see this tempered. Now they see that he's been tempering this stuff with an abuse of power, but they want this to come out. They want to take away his power. So when the swords of truth coming out today, there's more struggle, more arguments when it comes to him trying to keep the lid on these things. The challenge is the strength of it when it comes to the long term. And the knight moving forward with actions, club in hand. So potential outcome, message about an action with what's being built, what they're constructing. When it comes to his choices in life, the outside influence, what's coming out and what's being handed out, concrete things being handed out and being worked on, okay? And we have, as usual, his manipulations because of the burden and trying to move this forward to someplace better for him. Trying to figure out the next action to, again, quell this, but this is the nightmare scenario when it comes to him trying to control. And what's being offered up for him is a tower moment, okay? So it's not going away, it's amping up, more is coming out, more is being worked on. So if we go ahead and break down this reading and look at it, we've got the four corners, the White House, next message, action message, when it comes to his life path, and his hidden abuses of power, okay? So we've got his abuses, tempering what's being put out there. The challenge is this charging forward when it comes to outing his life path. This attempting to control the narrative, but there's an agreement, again, struggling when it comes to long-term information that's being built. And we have the White House, the pedophilia, the swords coming out, strengthening the problem, the challenge is strengthening, and his message, okay, this message about an action. The center of it, we have the fight going on. The women are in agreement when it comes to the long term of this. They're struggling when it comes to the swords coming out and his trying to keep the lid on things. Still struggling with the pedophilia and how to bring this forward, charging forward, and wanting to temper some of these things that he's strongly trying to get out of. So when it comes to this agreement, they're struggling with his mentality. They're in agreement about him trying to keep the lid on things. An agreement about his abuse of power and the information now coming out and wanting to temper the things that he's done in the past. The long term, there's a battle going on with what's being built, strengthening this fight going forward, actions, and keeping the lid on things when it comes to the message about the actions. And his life path has brought these swords that are now coming out, the truth of his path, the things that he's done in life. Okay? So let's go ahead and we'll do a clarifying read and see what it says about all of this. Clarification about what he's doing. His ongoing battle to abuse the system and try to get out of it. All his life he's abused the system. Okay? He's used the courts in a negative way to go after people. And it's all based on his monetary, using the money to get out of things, threatening people, etc. So let's see what we have when it comes to the clarifying read, what's going on with it. So the center of it all we have, now I would say this is probably Bondi, etc., the woman mentally controlling the actions with some of this stuff. Based on his desires, she's doing his bidding, okay, but the wheel is turning, okay. So the wheel that's turning on this is good news. When it comes to his desires, there's the burden now, overwhelming burden, okay? When it comes to his abusive nature, okay? His attempting to control, the desire is to control, but this is a big heavy burden, okay? So when it comes to the wheel turning, things are being overturned, it's not going away, and they're figuring out the next move. When it comes to Pam Bondi, she doesn't like the harvest. Things are coming to light and trying to move this to a better place. Rapidly, though, things are moving rapidly when it comes to justice. The other side, his life choices when it comes to the young girls, okay? These are his life choices, and this is coming to an end point when it comes to going forward and it comes to the evidence in hand and what's being worked on. So there is some sort of a conclusion that's going to come, some sort of an ending going forward. Now, is this an ending of the information coming out? Or is this an ending of her being able to control the evidence the endings about what's being given to America. Okay, when it comes to this new cup of abominations, the information and his, his control of things before. His emperor, the one that's creating and doing these things, the mover, the shaker, okay, and what he was doing, going forward, embattled. When it comes to her holding on to the evidence, this is about the truth of it, and trying to keep things up in the air, blocking it, okay, working to temper things, but there is the investigation of what he's trying to get away with, what they're trying to get away with, the takeaway about what's hidden, okay, what's hidden about what they're building, okay. So she's doing her best to cover it over, to not let the evidence get out. Okay. She's going to try to continue to obstruct and spin and lie and continue to try to cover over things for Trump. Nothing to see here. It's all manufactured. Whatever's there about Trump is manufactured, Obama, and they did this to Trump. Trump's squeaky clean. He's never done anything wrong. Boy, he's as pure as the driven snow. It's all lies. All lies. Yeah. You can't believe a thing that comes out about Trump. We're going to release the pertinent information, What is it Trump keeps saying? The true information, we're going to release that. But, anything that has my name is fake. That's not coming out. But the rest of it, we're going to release. Yeah. Especially anything that has a Democratic name to it. Yeah. Because, it's the Democrats that are the evil ones. So how is this going to work for Bondi? How is this going to work for Bondi with what she's doing? Controlling the information, controlling it, what's being built. Okay, when it comes to Trump, they're still trying to build a way to control it. Okay, they want to control new action, holding on to the information, holding on to controlling the information. Holding on to, not releasing what has to do with him. Again, juggling it. When it comes to Trump, what's being offered up. Okay, figuring out their next move on their life path, the choices they're making in life, okay, to hide it. To conceal the absolute truth. She's going to continue to work on concealing the absolute truth. So on that note, I'll leave that here. That's what I'm getting from the tarot today. I would hope the tarot is 180 degrees wrong and that things are just absolutely going to be revealed point blank as to his criminality. But the tarot is saying, not today. Today she's going to continue to do whatever she can do to hide the actual truth. So on that note, I'll leave that here. We'll see you online.